There is a quote from Eleanor Roosevelt. Roosevelt? How do you say her name?
A few moments later.
Eleanor Roosevelt.
Eleanor Roosevelt. I give myself a D+. In the wise words of Eleanor Roosevelt, and I'm paraphrasing here, but there are three kinds of people. People who talk about people who talk about events, and people who talk about ideas. I might also add a fourth kind of person, which is someone who majored in English but can't pronounce anything. That's me.
Zachary, Latenchi, Edgy Planet, Kabaje, Asparagus, got that broccoli titty.
If you have been here before, you know that we are generally the kinds of people who talk about ideas. However, today we're going to be wading over to the shallow ends of the pool and we're going to be talking about people. Good vibes only, okay? Good vibes only and a little bit of roasting. And it's not even really roasting, it's like a light toasting because that's my love language. But why, Kiara? Honestly, because the videos I usually make require a metric ton of research and I'm working 12-hour days at my job right now, my amazing job, so I just don't have the time. Life happens in seasons, and so today we are talking about spiritual YouTubers. And I'm going to preface this by saying that I absolutely love culture. I'm fascinated by culture and the factors that influence culture. And YouTube is its own culture, right? It is its own ecosystem. And it actually reminds me a lot of high school where you have like the different cliques. You've got the cool but dickish jocks. You have the gamers. You have the artists. You have the yearbook club. You have the everyman. And I love it all. I think it's all super fun and interesting, but I'm less interested in those kids. The ones I'm really interested in are the weird kids. And when I say weird, I don't mean sitting in the corner eating crayons. Okay, Shane Dawson? What I mean is weird in the most traditional sense of the word. If we trace that word back far enough, we find that it's closely associated with the three fates, aka the weird sisters. And so etymologically, the word weird has always carried a connotation of the supernatural, of the mystical. And so when I say the weird kids, I'm talking about the spiritual niche. We are going to start with the ones who are from way, way out there, from a far, far away galaxy, the Starseeds. And this is honestly these are one of my favorites. These are the people who you might sarcastically ask, what the hell planet did you come from? And they're going to be so glad you asked, because now they get to tell you about all their past lives on the other side of the Milky Way. They channel extraterrestrials, they talk in tongues, and they are infectiously optimistic despite having incarnated as hairless monkeys, hairless apes, aka human. My favorite, hands down, among these is activation vibration.
However, I've definitely been other beings many times, and aspects of me still are other beings in other extensions of consciousness, other planets right here and now. So the fact that I'm experiencing this form and that I get to be present with Heather's experience is so beautiful to me. It's so magical.
She is what happens when a beam of alien sunshine incarnates as a human. She's, to me, the perfect model of when New Age goes right. Because let me tell you, I live next to Sedona and I've seen it go very, very wrong.
Eventually.
Then you have the law of attraction gurus who are almost entirely wealthy men with immaculately groomed beards. I don't know why that's their thing, but the thing about these channels is they usually have like 3 core messages, 3 to 5, we'll say. And they repeat those 3 messages in slightly different ways across hundreds, sometimes thousands of videos. And so really, once you've seen 3 videos, you've seen them all, but you keep going back again and again and again. And you're not really sure why, but it might be the beards. Perfection. Their more feminine counterparts we might term the healers, and these are the people that you wish were your mom because they call you things like baby elephant and beautiful souls. If you want to feel safe and warm and held while learning about things like shadow work and nurturing the inner child, this is your crew. Then we have the adventurers, and this group tends to be, ironically, small in stature, but giant in personality. They're open, they're conscientious, they are wise beyond their years, and they're typically going to cry on camera. They usually take a vlog format because their way of teaching and sharing is taking us with them on their own personal outings. Then we have people who do more of the talking head style, and I call these the sages. They are this blend of artistry, main character energy, and the most perfect life advice that you had no idea you needed. Up next, we have the trade specialists, and these can be further subdivided by specialty. For example, the tarot readers or the pick-a-card readers, who should all be hand models. I don't know how they do anything with those nails, let alone shuffle, but honestly, I don't know what it's like to have nails. I just eat mine. Then we have the twin flame specialists, and these really come in two flavors. You have the healthy, functioning couples that are in union, and they talk about the twin flame journey, and they talk about self-love, and they give lots of good, sound, stable advice on having a functioning relationship. On the flip side, you get those people who are single. They are in their 5th year of separation, as they say. They bring up their divine counterpart in every video, and their divine counterpart also doesn't seem to know that they exist, and you start to wonder if the person making these videos is a stalker. And they're always trying to sell you on their services, because even though they're not in union, they can do something for you, guaranteed to bring you into union with that guy that ghosted you. In other words, they are a scam artist with a sprinkling of stalker vibes, and I'm not going to put up videos of that one because that would be mean. But if you know, you know. A third category of specialists is the consciousness experts, and those are the ones who love plant medicine maybe a little too much, and we love them. But sometimes they seem like they're not all there, but that's because they're not anywhere. They exist only in the quantum field. Then you have what I would call the oracles, and these are people who have integrated their intuitive abilities into their everyday life. They know a lot more than they can share online, and they are trying to awaken their audiences to their own divine nature. The oracles are channels, as in psychic conduits with a keen pulse on collective energies, which is why a lot of them have a political edge. And through this active channeling, they are able to speak magic, enchanting words at you for like 20 minutes without a script and still hold your attention. Actual magic. But since there isn't necessarily a living in waking our asses up, they're probably going to try to sell you t-shirts that look like it took them 5 minutes to design and paint a mess. And last but not least, you have the old school gurus, okay, the grandpas. And the thing about them is, you know they know that the best way to get their message out is to share it on the internet. However, you also know that they can barely hold a phone. And so these kinds of people are really good at surrounding themselves with people who can transmute their wisdom into content. They don't touch the tech side of things, but they don't have to, because they come from an era where people valued things like human contact and community. So they hire people to do those things. There you go. That is my take on the spiritual niche of YouTube. I actually included like a lot of my favorites, but who did I miss? Let me know in the comments. And in any case, thank you so much for joining me today. Hail to the power in the sight. And until next time, I hope you stay very, very blessed, my friends.